Hi, this is Greg Rempe, host of the Barbecue Central radio show. And you are listening to BCRN, all barbecue and grilling all the time.
In a world permeated with barbecue websites under the control of tyrannical administrators, there was one man, a one-man army. He broke all the rules. He allowed his members to speak out, give their opinions, and make the website what it is today. Get ready for Greg Rempe and the Barbecue Central Show.
Live from Cleveland, Ohio, it's the Barbecue Central Show.
Hey, gang, welcome to another edition of the Barbecue Central Show. There it is. Yeah, it's the show that talks about all things important to the world of barbecue and grilling. We originate from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio, rapidly becoming known as the barbecue capital of the North Coast in wireless and digital circuits. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on a Wednesday. If you want to get in touch with the show at any point tonight, you're more than welcome to do so. One of two ways. You can dial toll-free, and you can dial toll-free because everything is back in order via Skype. 877-448-0433 is the number to get in touch with the show, 877-448-0433. You can also email the show, Greg, at thebbqcentralshow.com. Those are the two ways to get in touch with me in case you want to weigh in on anything that's happening in the world of outdoor live fire, cooking, grilling, whatever. If it's got fire, if it's got smoke, if it's got flame, I'm down for it, so go ahead and lay it out for me. We'll take it from there. Here's what's happening on the show tonight, in case you were wondering. Pretty much we've reloaded last week's show since we had a Skype meltdown of seismic and gargantuan proportion. I was able to reach out with all of my guests that were supposed to show up last week, and they graciously decided to reload and try again for this coming show that we're going to be giving to you tonight. And by we, I mean me and my guests. That would be we. Coming up in about 13 minutes from now, the founder and owner of a company called ThermoWorks. ThermoWorks is well known, at least in barbecue and food industry circles, for one particular product, and that would be the ThermoPen. But Randy Owen and the good folks over there at ThermoWorks are in that thermometry industry and have a wide array of products as well. So obviously we'll be talking a little bit more specific on the ThermoPen, how it works, what makes it, how it do what it do. And look, there's one thing that you're just not going to be able to not talk about, which is the price tag. And I don't want to say I was averse to the price tag when I saw it. But look, it's a little bit more expensive than any of the instant read digital thermometers or analog thermometers that you're going to find in a number of the big box stores or in your restaurant supply stores. So once I got over that initial gulp of sticker shock, got it in the kitchen and used it not only for the barbecue stuff, but just for everyday stuff in general, completely sold, completely think that if you are somebody that is in the barbecue subculture, whether you're just a backyard guy or whether you're getting out there on the competition circuit or somewhere in between, maybe you're catering, this has to be a tool that is in your arsenal. Stone cold lead pipe lock, just like I tell everybody that's getting into barbecue. Things that you need to have: a good cooker, something that is giving you a pit temperature reading, temperature-wise, and a food saver and a ThermoPen. Those are things that you need to have. Of course, food saver, you need to have the food saver, right? Do you not have a food saver? I should look to get the folks from Food Saver on, because that's like the best invention ever. Nothing like having to buy a 2-pack of pork butts, and you're like a family of 2 or 3 or whatever, and then you have like massive amounts of pulled pork left over, and you have no way of keeping it for any extended period of time. That's where the food saver comes in. You just cook at will. Cook 500 pounds of the stuff, as long as you have enough Food Saver bags and a Food Saver, save it. Put it in boiling water in the bag. Reheat it. Thing is phenomenal. I love the Food Saver. Right along with the Food Saver, got to have a thermopen, got to suck it up, got to lay out, and you're off and running. So there you go. By the way, Soup Johnson weighing in, asking if this is working. Yeah, Soup, it's working. Can you not hear me, buddy? I don't know. So we're going to be talking with Randy Owen coming up in about 10 minutes from now, ThermoWorks, and again, more specifically, the ThermoPen. Coming up after that, around 34, 35 past the hour, as we'll see how the interview goes with Randy Owen. Regular contributor to the show, Robin Medlin, a.k.a. Grill Girl. She is the owner and creator of the great food blog, grillgirl.com. That's spelled grill. You know how to spell that. Girl is not spelled how you would think. Grrr, 3 R's, grillgirl.com. And you can always keep up with what she has going on. We're going to be talking about a very cool recipe, one that you might want to try out for the new year. That would be bacon-topped cupcakes. We'll also get into a few other items as well. Maybe you've come across a cache of, well, not to be redundant, but a cache of cash, perhaps a windfall of monetary supplements have come your way, and you're looking to add some stuff to the outdoor barbecue and grilling arsenal, and she has some tips on what you might want to avail yourself to when it comes to purchases for the grill and for the barbecue. That'll be Robin Medlin coming up around 35 past the hour. Of course, we have the 4-segment free-for-all hosted by Hall of Fame broadcaster who is currently dead, Harry Carey, and we'll be giving away some frog mats, some El Capitan Santa Maria-style barbecue seasoning, some wood smoke products from Greenleaf Barbecue, a Cosmos Q injection pack or soak, depending on what you would like, and some new rubs from the good folks over at Easy Hooks. Also, I need to appeal to those that actually won the Fred Bernardo's rub last week. That was done on Vocal because we had no phones last week. So if you won the veggie blend that we did on Vocal for the 4-segment free-for-all because we had no phones, please shoot me an email, all right? Because I want to get you your prizes. Nobody emailed me like I asked them to. I believe one of those people was Nibbled Me This. I don't remember who the second person was. But if you won, you know who you are. Even if you're listening to this in recorded fashion down the road, just shoot me an email, greg@thebbqcentralshow.com. Give me your address so I can go ahead and ship that out to you promptly, because I want to make sure that the Centralites who take part in the show are taken care of when I say that they will be taken care of. So that's a 4-segment free-for-all. That'll end the first hour. And then going into the second hour, a great new guest coming up, Chris Marks. And he is the pitmaster of Three Little Pigs barbecue team, a super accomplished competition barbecue team, as well as the general manager of Ace of Hearts Barbecue. You can find out a little bit about Chris prior to our segment if you want by going to aceofheartsbbq.com. They are I guess we'll figure that out for sure a little bit later, but I believe they're the manufacturers of the Good One smoker. A lot of people out there checking out the Good One. A lot of people out there want to know what the Good One's all about. You can certainly get some information on the Good One smoker by going to aceofheartsbbq.com. So there you go. That's what's going to be happening here on the show tonight. So I hope you're strapped in and you are ready to go. Once again, if you want to weigh in, if you have a question for Randy of ThermoWorks, if you have a question for Robin from grillgirl.com, or if you have a question upcoming in the second hour for Chris Marks, Ace of Hearts Barbecue, pitmaster of Three Little Pigs barbecue competition cooking team, do it one of two ways, or both ways if you're so inclined. Toll-free 877-448-0433, or email greg@thebbqcentralshow.com. A lot of people wondering, what's with the Getty Up? Well, first of all, thank you for noticing. Straight from work right here to Barbecue Central Radio Network studio. So, apologize, I'm not my slovenly looking self, so you'll have to deal with it. Quick reminder, folks, about the longtime sponsor of the show, Laverne Gingrich and the good folks over at Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue. You've heard me talk about them for probably well over a year now, the leading online retailer of Meadow Creek barbecue equipment. Folks, These barbecue smokers and grills are handcrafted in the Amish country of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and they help you enjoy easy and profitable barbecues for years to come. It doesn't get any better than that. We love profit in this little industry of ours. You can check them out at Serious BBQs, that's plural, BBQS, SeriousBBQs.com. They also have pig roasters and big chicken cookers. They have a full line of rubs and sauces as well. You want to check them out. SeriousBBQs.com. Good folks over at Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue. We'll step away real quick. We'll come back with Randy Owen, founder and president of ThermoWorks. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show.
Barbecue fans travel from all over the country and the world to learn the secrets of real pit barbecue from Grand Champion Pitmaster Conrad Haskins. Now take your skills to the next level with a Barbecue Institute Pitmaster class. You'll learn how to make sauces, rubs, and smoke mouth-watering barbecue every time you cook. Your new skills will impress friends and family. Internet forums, blogs, and Facebook are full of success stories from our graduates. Upcoming classes locations include Rock City Rib Fest, Rochester, New York, Lexington, Massachusetts, Lang Factory Test Kitchen in Georgia, Fort Worth, Texas, Fredericksburg, Texas, Houston, Texas, Monroe, Washington, and Kennewick, Washington. For more information, class dates, and contests we'll be competing in, visit www.bbqclass.com. That's bbqclass.com.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Welcome back. This is the Barbecue Central Show. This portion brought to you by D-Dogs Barbecue, now offering free shipping on all orders at ddogsbbq.com. They also have 2 new products to choose from, a Texas-style barbecue sauce and a jalapeno rib glaze. Oh, by the way, did I mention that everything is shipped free? Oh, that's right. You can buy 800 tons of Texas-style rib glaze and barbecue sauce, Texas-style, and Darren will take care of the shipping. ddogsbbq.com is the website, ddogsbbq.com. That's the place to go. All right. We will go ahead and race over to the phone now. Joining me now is the founder and president of a company that I've been looking to get on the show for quite some time now. So we'll race over the hotline, pull up. Founder and owner of ThermoWorks, Randy Owen, joining us here on the show. Randy, how are you tonight, buddy?
Great, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding, Randy. I apologize for last week. Glad we could hook up and finally do this thing. So, as we before we get into the particular issue that we wanted to talk about tonight, that being obviously the ThermoPen, how about a little info on Randy Owen, how you got into this whole thermometry, and when you decided to put ThermoWorks in business?
Oh, boy. I've been in thermometry since college. I worked for a few other companies that were in higher precision thermometers of the sort used by national labs. So my background really is thermometers that are accurate to 4 or 5 places past the decimal point. Some 14 years ago, I hooked up with a company in England called Electronic Temperature Instruments Limited, and they were making handheld thermocouple thermometers, and had just at that time come out with the first version of the ThermoPen. We worked with them over the next few years to make a faster, smaller tip version of that product, which was the earlier version of the current ThermoPen.
How do you make it faster, Randy? If it's like pretty fast already, how do you increase speed like that?
Well, thermocouple is already a faster sensor than what you find in most of the low-cost Chinese-made pocket thermometers. They use something called a thermistor, which is a little bead of carbon, makes a little resistor. It changes resistance with temperature. It's a small little bead coated in glass and epoxy, And a thermocouple, on the other hand, is two very fine gauge bare wires of two different metals. They're welded into a tiny bead, which is physically much smaller than a thermistor, which contributes to a better speed. And then, of course, we put it in the smallest diameter stainless steel tube that we can, that makes a needle point that at the same time will be survivable in daily use. We can make them even faster with a finer gauge needle, but you need something that's going to stand up to daily rigors of punching in and out of a piece of meat.
So as we, I'm sorry, go ahead, Randy.
So the thermocouple is important to making a fast probe. Then there are a few other secrets in how it's mounted in the tube that will make it faster. And the thermocouple circuit, of course, is a more complicated circuit than the thermistor type, but they've been used for several decades now in professional handheld thermometry. The Thermopen's equivalent really to something you would find selling for $150 to $300. If you walk into your neighborhood fast food hamburger joint and go behind the counter, you'll find a handheld thermocouple meter that probably costs them about $200.
Is this something that a McDonald's or some other restaurant that needs to take temperature for code would be able to use versus whatever they're paying the higher amount for? Yeah,
absolutely. In fact, nearly half of the Thermopens manufactured and sold around the world are used in professional food service locations and to a lesser extent in food processing plants, chicken, sausage plants, and so forth.
Randy,
so the Thermopen is half the units we make are used professionally.
Randy Owen, founder and president of ThermoWorks, joining us here on the show. So, Randy, as we talk about the Thermopen, why don't you give us some facts about the splash-proof, super-fast Thermopen and why we would be interested in at least looking at it to add to the arsenal?
Speed's the number one thing. It will come to within 1 degree of the final temperature in only 2 to 3 seconds. In the current splash-proof Thermopen, you can now see tenths of a degree. Those will continue to change and zero in over the next second or two. But it's faster than anything out there. That makes it easier for you to tell the current state of whatever piece of meat you're cooking. The center of the meat will be the coolest place normally, but by pushing the Thermopen in slowly, going past the center, and then drawing it back out, you can watch the temperature change real time on the Thermopen display, and that'll tell you quite a bit of information about the doneness level of the meat throughout the entire piece, whether it's a rib roast, a brisket, or a New York steak on the grill.
And then, of course, this is something that isn't actually manufactured like probably 90% of the stuff in our country in China. This is not a China-made product.
No, these are made in England. They're hand manufactured. Each one is individually assembled. They are individually tested and calibrated against reference thermometers, and each Thermopen comes with a test certificate giving actual test data at two temperatures, 32 and 212.
Did you ever think that there would be kind of this overall popularity in the competition barbecue scene and perhaps just in the competition subculture itself? It seems Thermopen resonates with everybody as really being one of those products, and I do it myself when people ask me, I'm looking to get into barbecue, what do I need to have? We go over the cookers, we go over getting a food saver, and then inevitably I end with, you got to get a Thermopen as well. Did you expect this kind of an outpouring of support for the product and use?
No. Originally, we didn't anticipate such a large demand in home and professional barbecue circles. The original market was for food service and restaurants. But in competition barbecue circles, that's about as professional as you can get. A lot of money rides on the outcome. A lot of money is invested. And at the end of the day, the biggest factor is the finish temperature of the meat you're cooking or smoking or grilling.
Randy Owen joining us here on the show. So, Randy, when I tell people about the Thermopen and then I tell them how much it is, there's kind of that initial sticker shock. So somebody that's been around it all their life, I mean, this is what you do day in and day out. What do you tell people to help them kind of overcome that initial gasp of, oh my gosh, $90 or $92, and settle them down and go ahead and have them purchase?
Well, it is an investment, and it is quite a bit more than the $20 imported Chinese thermometers. Typically, though, it will last longer than 3 or 4 of the imported thermometers, and the thermopen can be repaired. If you have an accident, even if you burn and melt up the entire case, frequently we can salvage the guts of the thermopen. We can replace probes when broken. So it is an investment that isn't necessarily lost if you have an accident. But again, speed is everything. And you wouldn't think maybe, what's the difference between 3 seconds and 20 seconds? It's a ton of difference, which is why we didn't push this into the barbecue circuit. It was adopted by people. That's why. I mean, you're probably better asking people at a barbecue competition why do they all have thermopens? But they'll tell you.
Randy, anything product-wise new that our subculture would want to know about, or are there other products that are already existing in your portfolio that we would also want to pay attention to and might consider?
We do have an oven probe thermometer, very low-cost one. Those are frequently used in the barbecue world. It is a low-cost imported product. We do supply very, very low-cost, inexpensive replacement probes. We also have something called an extra big and loud timer. Time is still important measurement, and the extra big and loud is extra big and extra loud. It has 4 volume settings. It is waterproof, splash-proof. Again, it's pretty affordable. There are some other thermocouple meters that we sell, and those are very, very popular in the barbecue world as well. A new one has 2 channels and an audible alarm that can be set. And you can use smokehouse probes, the same kind of probes that a professional meat smoking operation would use are available for competition barbecue people.
Randy Owen, our guest, founder, owner of ThermoWorks. Randy, as a whole, as a company, I mean, what percentage of thermopens, or what percentage does thermopen make up of your annual gross sales? Is it a big portion? Is it smaller than what else you're dealing with?
It depends on the time of year, but over the whole year, the thermopen's probably half our total dollar volume.
Half the total dollar volume.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's a pretty big number for you guys.
It's a significant product, yeah.
Absolutely. So a couple minutes left here, Randy. Obviously, you're not all business. You like to kick back and relax a little bit, I would imagine, given the industry you're in. You have your hands on some excellent thermometers. So what do you like to stick your thermometer in? You grill guy, your barbecue guy, your steak, pork butts? What do you like?
I am not the expert smoker I could be. I've got my first ceramic Korean-style barbecue this year. Just barely learning to use that. I've got a Weber grill we've had for a long time. I do like ribeye. We cooked a rib roast this evening for company. That was done in the house, but of course we certainly have the thermometers to tell what we're doing. So we like it medium rare, and depending on how well we let the meat come to temperature or before the cook and how slow we cook it, it depends on the company. We've got some here tonight that like it medium well, so we go ahead and cook it intentionally to have some rare and some medium well toward the end. So we use the higher heat.
Randy Owen is our guest. Randy, quick question here before I cut you loose. Somebody buys one, or they're just new to it, it's just showed up in their house here over the last day or two, and they haven't actually had a chance to put it to use. How do you recommend using it, and then, of course, caring for it to make sure you're getting that longevity out of it?
It does come now with a great little booklet filled with tips on how to use it, how to tell when meat is done, some good pointers on resting a meat, and some chef-recommended temperatures on the back of the booklet. The number one thing we tell people, though, is keep the thermopen clean. It's like a knife. You would clean the knife after each cook, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
So the thermopen should be wiped clean. You should avoid immersing it completely in water, although it is splash-proof. Wet hands should be no problem. But we just say take care of it in that regard. We also have now a silicone boot, which will give it additional temperature protection. If you happen to set it on top of the grill, the boot will protect the ThermoPen body itself. So if you take care of it, they'll last for years and years and years.
And where is the website that folks could go find out a little bit more on the ThermoPen and then, of course, the company itself?
ThermoWorks.com is the company website where you can order a ThermoPen. There is also a blog site found at thermopen.com where you can find a variety of interesting articles and photos and blog postings related to the ThermoPen.
Do you guys take phone calls as well? Is there an 800 number people could call?
We do. Let me tell you that. We're staffed by real-life people. There's not a call center. So if you call tonight, there will be no one there.
Right.
But and we do have that phone number at 1-800-393-6434. That's readily visible on the website, so you can call and talk to us anytime.
He is founder and owner of ThermoWorks. That's the company that makes the ThermoPen. He is Randy Owen. Randy, I appreciate the insight on the product, the company itself, and found it very interesting how you got into thermometry. So appreciate you coming on the show tonight. Continued success.
Hey, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
All right, take care. There he is. It's Randy Owen, the founder and president of ThermoWorks. That contact information, again, in case you were wondering, ThermoWorks.com is the website, and then the toll-free number if you want to order, 800-393-6434. And if you want to look at the blog for ThermoWorks, that would be ThermoPen, THERMA, thermopen.com. So that's your contact information. Got to get one, ThermoWorks.com. Bite the bullet, shuck the cheese, buy the best and only cry once. You ever heard that before? I've heard it around before. All right, we're going to step away. When we come back, we will raise up Robin Medlin, the grill girl. We're going to be talking about bacon-topped cupcakes and what you should spend your windfall of cash from Christmas on. It's Rempy and you right here on the Barbecue Central Show.
Going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
34 past the hour. This is the Barbecue Central radio show, and this portion is brought to you by the good folks over at the Barbecue Guru, makers of automatic pit temperature control devices. Not to mention a host of other products that make your barbecue and grilling life easier. You got to check them out, and you can do it one of two ways on the interwebs, thebbqguru.com, or you can call them toll-free, 1-800-288-GURU. It's the good folks over at the Barbecue Guru. All right, as promised, regular contributor to the show, I'm going to be talking about something crazy for cupcakes. Regular, as I just said, regular contributor to the show. We race to the hotlines. Welcome in, dare I say, freshly married Robin Medlin Lindars. Robin, what's up? How are you?
Hey, guys. Happy holidays.
Same back at you. And by the way, belated congratulations on the nuptials. I assume everything went off without a hitch?
Everything was awesome. I had a very busy fall, but everything was great, and I'm now a married woman.
How's that treating you?
It's good. Mr. Grill Guy, we're awesome. We had a really good Christmas. We were very low key, and we smoked a duck in the backyard, so that was cool. So, things are getting off to a good start.
You're doing like your best replication of Ralphie in A Christmas Story with a duck?
When we decided to do that, I could not stop thinking about them and the Chinese restaurant and the duck. But yeah, it turned out great. It was, it's my first time doing duck, I will say that. And I was very surprised how much I actually liked it.
So did you find it to be, at least when I hear about duck, if you're not cooking it right, it seems to be like very fatty. Did you find that to be the case, or were you able to kind of render that out? How was the process?
Well, I actually tried out my new Charbroil Big Easy for the first time, and it was amazing how quickly it cooked. And it's so interesting because, when we started cooking it, it actually seemed like a pretty big bird, but once all the fat renders out, a 6-pound duck was really only enough for about 2 people. So it was the perfect amount for, like a small Christmas dinner, but one duck would definitely not be of that size, would be enough for a family.
Now, I've had a couple people on before in recent shows talk about the Charbroil Big Easy. As far as the company is concerned, I really want to love Charbroil. I want to be as in love with Charbroil as I am with Weber. What I have found is a lot of great ideas, a lot of great concepts, but the execution and the way it's made is fine for a little bit, but then it tapers off very quickly and you're back buying something again to replace it. How does this particular item stack up? What do you like about it? What would you like to see fixed? Give us your take.
That's an interesting thing to say because I think you're right on with that. And I really like Charbroil too. And I really love CB over at Charbroil. And I've enjoyed testing out their grills. But I will say, from the get-go, Scott, my husband, actually, being the sweetheart that he is, put this grill together for me. And he was texting me all day at work. And he was like, I'm really unimpressed with the way this grill came in the box. He was like, the parts seem really cheap. Everything seems like it's made in China. It's really unimpressive at the first get-go. But having said that, once we actually got it put together and used the grill, it did a really good job. And I think the Big Easy is a really good crossover type grill for a person like me who's very into grilling, but a little bit less familiar with the low and slow and the smoking and things like that. So, but I would totally agree with you, Greg, that they're not really at the same quality as Weber. I think of Weber as the kind of grill where you replace the parts over the years, but you keep them a really long time. Whereas I feel like a lot of the Charbroil grills are more like buy it, keep it a couple years, but you'll probably just go ahead and replace it, not try to replace the parts on it.
Robin Medlin Lindar is joining us. Grillgirl.com, by the way, is the website, and that's grill and then girl with 3 R's in the middle, L.com. Robin, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, let me back up for just 1 second. So to kind of summarize the Big Easy, something that you would recommend to people to buy, or is it kind of a niche piece?
You know what? I've only used it once, but I would recommend it. I think it's extremely versatile for a lot of people because it grills, it smokes, and it roasts. So it's kind of like 3 grills in one. So I would recommend it.
All right. So what I wanted to talk about tonight was something that we were going to address last week before Skype took down the world. From what I understand, reading their website, was cupcakes, which who's not a fan of cupcakes? And then bacon on top of it. And who's not a fan of bacon? But the two together kind of initially freaked me out. So give us a lowdown on this recipe.
Well, Greg, this is a big trend this year. I've been seeing this a lot. And, we all do a lot of reading on blogs. And I originally saw a recipe for a German chocolate cake with bacon on it on She Smoke. I don't know if you've ever heard of her.
Julie Reinhardt? No, never heard of her.
Yeah, of course. So I was reading, and this was a while ago, and I was always thinking of replicating that recipe. And then a girlfriend of mine baked some cookies with bacon in them, and I was like, damn, I'm just going to try this. And what's awesome about it is that it really appeals to all your taste buds at once. It's like you're appealing to the sweet and the salty at the same time. And it's a great thing to bring over to like a friend's house because it really appeals to everyone in the room, your sweet tooths and your salty dogs. So it's a fun thing to do. And, I don't know, a lot of guys I know aren't as into dessert, but if you put bacon on it, I mean, they will be like, oh my God, like I was having to beat Scott out of the kitchen when I was making the bacon. So you will be surprised if you try it.
So you're obviously making cupcakes the way you would normally make it, and then how are you making the bacon? Is it like super crispy? Is it still kind of that fatty, chewy stuff that I love? How do you do it?
It's a little mix of that. And, honestly, I didn't recreate the wheel with the cupcakes. I think Betty Crocker does a good job with that stuff.
Agreed.
I've done the scratch. I've done, but what I did was it was just your basic devil's food cake, chocolate cupcake. But for the bacon, I actually did it in the oven. I've done bacon on the grill before, but bacon's tough on the grill because you do get the chance for a grease fire. Mm-hmm. So I just did it in the oven. But having said that, it's really easy. All you do is pretty much coat your bacon in brown sugar and bake it for like 15 to 20 minutes. I believe I baked it at 350 degrees. So it's pretty mindless and it's easy cleanup, which is kind of nice. So and what I did is I mixed the brown sugar in with chipotle peppers or ground chipotle because I'm, a spice addict as well. So then you have sweet, salty, and spicy. It's like one big kapow in your mouth when you take a bite. It's awesome.
For the cupcake, is it the gold stuff? Is it chocolate? What do you think works best?
What do you mean you mean like as far as flavoring goes?
Yeah, for the cake itself.
I did chocolate, but I think it would be awesome with cream cheese, like a cream cheese frosting as well. So I'll probably test out different stuff this year as time goes on. I'm trying to as the new year approaches, I'm cutting the sweets out because I'm sure we can all relate to being a little overfed from the holidays. But I will be messing around with the sweet and salty dessert concept, for holidays and whatnot and special occasions next year.
And the candied bacon cupcakes are on your recipe or on your website for recipes?
Absolutely. It's like the second blog post down. So there will be more fun with bacon. Don't you worry.
Absolutely. There's never not enough fun with bacon. Robin Medlin Lindar is joining us here on the show. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about, last week it was going to be shopping list prior to the holidays, but perhaps some of us have come across the windfall of money. Santa's been especially nice to us as far as the greenbacks are concerned. So do you have any suggestions? I mean, you're out there, you have your finger on the pulse of what's happening. Things that you might want to add to the arsenal for the barbecue or the grill that you would suggest?
What I would suggest, and I did sort of a gift guide, just some of my favorite things from this year. One of my first things, I think this is universal to all grillers, and I've seen this a lot with other bloggers. If you look, Chris at Nibble Me This actually just did a giveaway with them, and Jeff DeVerter, who did a guest blog post for me a while back, actually turned me on to the Cray Court cast iron grates. If you have a little extra, if you have some gift cards or like a Visa gift card or something, this is under $100 and it's going to really make your life easier on the grill because you've got your grill grates and they're cast iron and they're in 4 different separate parts. So it makes it very easy to move the charcoal around so you can do direct and indirect grilling. And I think that if you got this for anyone and for yourself, they'd be a big fan. Another thing I'd vote for would be a thermopen. I know recently I've been having some issues with my traditional, like just, your barbecue thermometer. And I've been lusting after the thermopen. And I've seen this around a lot. It's kind of been a big buzz. So it's an instant read thermometer. I think it's about $90. You can find it on Amazon, but this would be a shoo-in to make your life a lot easier next year if you're a serious griller or barbecuer.
Hey, Robin, were you listening to the show prior to you came on?
No, I was actually watching a movie because Scott's been homesick and he wanted to watch a movie. So did someone just talk about that?
Maybe you missed founder and CEO of ThermoWorks, Randy Owen, on the show. Are you kidding? But I've never heard of it. So go ahead. What are you talking about?
Oh, my God. I feel like he and I will have to connect on Facebook or on your show later. So we had a little bit of a date movie night. So. But another thing I would mention, and it sounds weird because it doesn't seem like it would be grilling related, but I know for a lot of my friends that are on the barbecue circuit, they're all making their own sauces. Mm-hmm. And I found, like, especially I had a phase where I was going through, like, I was making a batch of hot sauce every weekend, and I got to be really chummy with my immersion blender. I mean, this is just a handheld blender you can get for $30, but it's really easy for the cleanup, and it really makes things easy as far as, I mean, you can throw a lot of stuff in the pot. blend it up while, even over the stove or whatever. And it works like a big machine, but it's a little guy that doesn't take up a lot of space in your cabinet. And it's awesome for people who are into making their own sauces. So I would recommend an immersion blender for anyone serious about their sauce.
What else do you recommend? Is that it? You good?
No, we're good. How much time do we have?
Hey, I mean, I'm the creator of the show, so we have 5 minutes or we have 5 hours. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I love that about you, Greg.
Thank
One
you.
other thing, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'm kind of a cooler whore. Like, I am addicted to buying and collecting coolers, and I found a really good cooler this year that I'm in love with. And I don't know if you guys are, familiar with a company called Mountain Smith. But, like when I was in college, Mountain Smith was the backpack brand to have, and I went to school in the mountains and, you'd wear your best hiking boots out to the bars, and that's the kind of school it was. But Mountain Smith has started making coolers, and I got it's called the Cooler Cube, and I took it out on my boat, and it's awesome because it's got built-in cup holders, and it holds like the perfect amount of beers and a little bit of food for like an afternoon of tailgating. So this would be a fun thing to pick up, to kind of be the envy of your friends next time you go to a party.
Awesome. This is Robin Medlin Lindars. And again, the website is grillgirl.com, and that's GRRL.com. And you can get recipes, obviously, the shopping list that she had just talked about. So look, if you've come across a windfall of cashola from the fat man himself, great ideas that Robin has mentioned, especially that Thermopen. And you can look to kind of reload, but just continue to evolve. I mean, what's the one thing that we know, Robin? It's probably you buy the grill, you think that's going to be the most expensive thing ever, but it's all the accoutrements that you accumulate over time that end up being the most, right?
Oh, absolutely. Even if you get like a hankering for a really exotic spice or, if you're really into grilling and barbecuing, there's so much stuff out there you feel like you need. Like I was actually reading Cindy Allison's blog, Yes, You Can Grill, and I saw her grilling on like Himalayan rock salt in lieu of doing like a plank. And I was like, oh my gosh, how cool is that? I need that. Of course, I don't need it. I want it, but I could justify the purchase. So.
Who doesn't need Himalayan rock salt? I was just talking about that with my sister the other day. Need more Himalayan rock salt.
Looking photos on my blog, right?
That's absolutely right. I want to see Himalayan rock salt on the next post. Otherwise, it's going to be a fist fight.
Okay, I'm working on it.
All right. Again, this is Robin Medlin. And Robin, again, congratulations on the nuptials and have a great New Year's. And we'll look for you again in January.
Absolutely. I always love chatting with you, Greg. And I will be befriending the ThermoWorks peeps because I was just looking them up. They will be my next purchase. All
right. Well, I'm telling you, you buy the best, you only cry once, and take it from somebody that was a little apprehensive at first. Once I got it, you'll find 20 other different ways to use it aside from the grill, the barbecue.
All right, we'll blog about it. You can show me all the ways you've used it.
I'm going to do it. All right, Robin. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Greg.
There she is, Robin Medlin. Himalayan rock salt. I don't know if I'm going to use Himalayan rock salt. People on the chat killing Robin. Nothing like a guest not listening to the show. I love that. Love that. Soup Johnson, I like cooler radios too. Who doesn't? All right, your chance to win, 877-448-0433. We have a bunch of stuff to give away, so call in for the 4-segment free-for-all, 877-448-0433. Stand by, we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required. for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com. Or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Introducing Cosmos Q. Cosmos Q injections and marinades use only the finest ingredients, and they mix easily, never clotting or caking. From our beef injection to our pork injection, you're guaranteed to wow your friends, family, and judges. And don't forget to check out our Cosmos Chicken Soak for that moist and tender chicken you're gonna love.
And don't forget about Cosmo's new pork soak and rubs.
You can find us at cosmosq.com and select retailers across the nation. For quality injections, marinades, and rubs, it's Cosmos Q.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
7 minutes till the top of the hour. This is the Barbecue Central Radio Show. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Thanks to Robin Medlin for joining us last segment. GrillGirl.com is her website. Also, thanks to Randy Owen, founder and owner of ThermoWorks. This portion of the show brought to you by Fred's Music and Barbecue, your online superstore. Check them out in beautiful downtown Shillington, Pennsylvania, or online at fredsmusicandbbq.com. Also, the creator of Tasty Licks barbecue rubs and sauces. You can find it there or at tastylicksbbq.com. Fred's Music and Barbecue, longtime sponsor of the show. All right, gang. Let's play the 4-segment free roll. Everybody, Harry. Can't even see your head. Hey! All right, welcome to the 4-segment free-for-all. Your chance to win fun and succulent prizes for answering a few questions. You know how to play the game, so I'm not going to waste anybody's time. We already have a caller on the line. I can't see it. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and race over to area code 218. This is Harry Carey. Who's this?
Mark.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Very good.
Mark, I can't see my mouse. I'm having trouble with my eyes tonight. Here it is. There you go, Mark. How are you?
Very well.
All right, Mark, do you want to play the game?
You bet.
All right, here's how we're going to do it. You can pick barbecue questions or sports questions. And then you have 5 seconds to... Mark, I haven't been finished yet. Please be quiet. Let me get through this. You can answer barbecue questions or sports questions. You have 5 seconds to answer each question. Mark, which one did you like, barbecue or sports?
Barbecue.
Okay, barbecue questions it is, Mark. Here we go. First question. Mark, recently, Greg Rempe was interviewing Randy Owen, founder and owner of ThermoWorks. Can you name the product that they make that's very popular in the barbecue and grilling community?
My wife gave me a ThermoPen for Christmas. So
all right.
ThermoPen.
ThermoPen it is, Mark. Very good. Question number 2, Mark. A long time ago, Greg Rempe interviewed a man from Sweden, and he had this very unique charcoal lighting system with a very unique name. Can you name it?
Loof lighter.
Loof lighter it is. All right, Mark, you're 2 for 2. Your chance to kick off a new year with a new prize. Mark, you excited?
I am.
I know I am, too. All right, Mark, here we go. Third question. Coming up next segment, Greg Rempe is going to be interviewing Chris Hart of Ace of Hearts Barbecue. Can you name the smoker that they make?
Oh. The very good one.
Get that big stuff out of here.
I'm sorry, Mark. It's not the very good one. It's not even the very great one. I'm sorry about that. You're very close. All right, area code 402. Who's this? Area code 402. Who's this? You're on the air, sir. Go ahead. You can hear me. Sir, guess what? Now you can't hear me, okay? You can't hear me now. That's it for you.
Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to reach.
What are you talking about? You called me. Give me a break. All right, we have about a minute left here for a segment free-for-all. Mark was very close, winning some very funny prizes. I mean, very nice prizes. I said funny because I caught myself looking in the mirror. Oh, my. I wouldn't want to look at me. As you can tell, I'm having some eyeball issues. I'm having a little fluid on the eye. Okay? All right. All right, let's try it again. We go back to area code 218, the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Who's this?
It's Mark.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
We'll see if we can get it right this time.
All right, Mark, we'll just skip right to the last question since you're so smart with the first two. Can you name the smoker that I was just asking you about?
Oh, yeah, I just saw it here. Only time they have to call the good one.
That's right, good one smoker it is, Mark. You're lucky I'm feeling so gracious here so close to the holidays of New Year's. Mark, what would you like for a prize?
God bless you.
Thank you, God bless. Well, I'm dead. He didn't bless me that well. All right, Mark, nevertheless, we have some frog mats for you to choose from. We have some wine-infused Oakwood products from Greenleaf Barbecue. We have El Capitan Santa Maria-style barbecue seasoning and some other products like Cosmos Cube. What would you like, Mark?
I'll try the El Capitan.
El Capitan it is. Mark, go ahead and send me your shipping information, and we will ship it right out to you, and you can ship that to Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for calling in tonight, Mark. I appreciate it. Yep. You know, for a fleeting moment, I thought that was it for him. All right, I got to close the show now. I can't see anything. All right, I got to go. Bye. Hey, there we go. All right, we're back. Looks like we got a winner. Name is Mark. Good for him. El Capitan Santa Maria style barbecue seasoning going out to Mark. Thanks for Harry Carey for hosting the 4-segment free-for-all segment. Don't forget to stick around for Chris Marks of Three Little Pig Barbecue, also the Good One Smoker. Going to have some great barbecue conversation with him coming up here in just a few minutes. Also, thanks to Randy Owen, founder and president of the ThermoWorks company, making the ThermoPen. One of the coolest items out there. Definitely go ahead and hook up. ThermoWorks.com is the website. Also, thanks to Robin Medlin, Grill Girl, GRRRL.com, grillgirl.com for that candied bacon cupcake recipe. Also, a list of things that you might want to get with the newfound wealth from Christmas. If you got newfound wealth, maybe you didn't. I didn't. And again, Chris Marks coming up, so stick around. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show.